Welcome to a new podcast. Yes, I've tried this many times. Now there's going to be on YouTube only on this channel, not Spotify. And I'm going to call it, I don't know yet, the Darren Keenan podcast. I don't know. I haven't got a full name for it yet. I'll find it out for the next one. But what I want to talk about today is I watched the latest Richard Dolan video about if aliens were living on this planet, what would it be like? So let's delve into that, shall we? So if aliens lived on this planet, what would it mean? How would they live? I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not, that kind of mind. I'm just a normal person, But it's interested me for many years thinking of that kind of scenario. I mean, first of all, where would they live? Would it be under the ocean? Would it be in mountains? Would it be in plain sight? Cloaked? I don't know. It sounds mad to us. It's a bit like Wakanda, isn't it, in a new universe where it's cloaked by, you can't see it until you go through the cloaky. But how do we know what that technology is? How do we know what the technology the aliens have got? If let's just presume there are aliens living on this planet. Let's just presume it, I know. I'll wait for the comments. Bit of a coffee there. Oh, I need coffee. It is morning. So it sounds crazy to us. It sounds very movie-like to us, but we don't know how far generations these aliens will be. So living under the ocean, why haven't we explored every part of the ocean yet? Why haven't we done that? Because maybe we're not allowed to. The Arctic has got its laws where people can't go to certain areas. How do we know? There's rumours that there's a massive hole in the Arctic that delves into Middle Earth. Not Middle Earth as in Lord of the Rings, but Hollow Earth. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they are. Even in mountains, there kind of entrances, secret entrances, caves that lead there and stuff, It's not unthinkable. It's not impossible. But the main question is, what energy would they use? Because if there are civilizations hidden away, how will they get the energy? But then again, as I said, they're far advanced than us. If they come from another planet, they're far advanced, so they would have the technology to create energy for themselves. Maybe they use the power of the sun, like we use solar panels. Maybe they've got, maybe they're using the heat of the Earth's core to energise. You don't know, do you? But another big question is, who would know these alien creatures are living on a planet? It'll be the highest military, I suppose. It'll be the highest countries, presidents, prime ministers. They would have to know if it was on their land, if it was in America or something like that. They would have to know about it because, these alien beings would have to own the land. They'd be their property. So someone is bound to know about it. It's not impossible, is it? Come off it. And are they living among us? Are they part of the human race? Are they walking down the street next to us? Are they living next door to us? Are they, I would hate to think not. I would rather, me personally, they have their own community, they have their own lives, separate from ours, That's what I would hope. But if they are part of our society, as long as they're good, as long as they're kind, and as long as they're nice, not vindictive, then I presume it's okay. If they look like us, then why should we worry? Why should we panic if they look like us, if they act like us, if they are, whether, you're going to get bad in any culture. I presume there's bad and good in the same kind of community they got, and how would their law work? How would they police themselves? How would they make sure no one escapes there to cause us harm? How would they do that? Because even human race, we're able to leave our place and cause damage to other places. So what would stop them doing that? As I said, you're going to get good and bad in any culture, in any civilization. But then again, I don't know what their structure, what they're capable of, Another big question is, what would happen if we knew and we had 100% evidence and we knew this was happening? What would happen to our culture, our religions? I think religion will be questioned, history will be questioned. Did historic things happen? Did they encourage it? Did they have a part in in the history of certain events? It would cause a bit of an uproar, because there'd be a lot of people out there who would be worried and be scared, who would be petrified. But there'd be people out there wanting answers, wanting, why were they told? Then you get the violent ones who would want to cause harm to them, who want to, it's, to me, I could understand that they would be kept separate from us and kept quiet and not known about it, because this would destroy humanity, in a long-term way. It might cause a war between them and us. So I can understand them being kept away, kind of thing, pushed to one side, until we're ready to know, until we know that there'll be no big issue. Yeah, there'll be issues no matter what, but there'll be no massive outcry and stuff. Is that why we're seeing lots of documentaries and lots of things online from the military with evidence of UFOs and stuff? Are they slowly getting ready for disclosure, getting ready to tell us these kind of things? A lot of people have said this is happening, that's why it's happening. But is it? Is this the right way to go about it? You know what I mean? Plus, the biggest question is, how long have they been on this planet? Have they been here longer than humans? Have they been here decades, 100 years, thousands of years, millions of years? If they've been here before humanity, then it's their planet. We have no say. But what would their technology be like, though? Would they, has their technology entered our world? I think that's why AI and stuff's getting better. Is that why computers and technology is increased so much since 1980? Are they preparing us with AI to, or is that their way of getting into our world with AI? We create robots and they can control robots, I don't know. But what would they look like if they're not among us? What would they be? would they be human-like? Would they be the Greys? Would they be tall, blonde ones that he mentioned many times, would they be so insect-like? It's hard to imagine, because I know that no matter if you're on a different planet, even in the deepest ocean, there's creatures there, there's animal life that's crazy looking. And some, it depends what kind of atmosphere, depends what depends on what the creature look like, hopefully they'll be humanish like, not exactly, but human looking kind of things, But is there solid proof under our noses that this, the latest drones stuff that happened over the past year or so, you see flying around, and the orbs and the plasma balls and stuff, and they got the lights coming out of the ocean, the people saying the UFOs come out of the ocean. Is that solid proof? Is that solid proof that that we are not alone on this planet? We have, have we been engineered by these aliens? All these abductions from the past, from the 70s and 80s, was that them trying to suss us out, or was that just an agreement with the world that they can live here, and they just take out one or two people just to experiment on, just to check up on, The one other theory is, are we a prison planet? Did we start off as alien beings put on a prison planet that have just evolved and just multiplied and become, what we are? That's a theory that is not impossible. It's like us British, we sent our people to Australia for prisoners. Why can't another planet do that? You know what I mean? It's crazy, all these theories. Even if just 1% of these theories are true, it is quite scary, But Rich Dolan video, watch it. I'll link it below. It's a good video, and this is the kind of stuff I'm always interested in. I've always been one to talk about, and I want to do this more on this podcast. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do, you do. So I'm still yet to think of a name. I'm still trying to create. If you've got any ideas, comment below. But I want to talk about other things. It's not just this aliens and UFOs and paranormal and stuff, and I want to talk about mental health, talk about what if kind of events and stuff, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, that's it for this first new-ish podcast on my main channel. Don't forget, I've got a second channel, Darren Keenan Vlogs, where I just vlog, but yeah, thank you for watching. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and yeah, if you've been on this channel for a long time and you don't like this kind of content, you can always unsubscribe if you want to. I won't feel offended. But if you want to share this out to people who might be interested in it, I'm not the Wi-Fi, all that kind of stuff. I've got no fancy graphics, not yet. But I really want to delve into more mysterious stuff, more stuff I want to explain, because it really fascinates me. And I want to do reactions to videos as well. At the moment I'm using the Pocket 3 with a DJI Mic 2 under here, but I've got OBS, I've got a webcam and blah blah blah, and a Rode mic. I can do proper reaction videos, But yeah, anyway, until the next one, which hopefully weekly, but this is just kicking the gears in, really. You know, it's a tester video podcast, you know what I mean? Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one.